La 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 la. Excuse me. Had that air in there since that first sip of Sprite. I ain't gonna lie to you, that felt good. Had me over here sweating. Oh, oh, my fingies. If you guys want to prepare a list of games for Roblox, like the scary games and stuff, I don't know what any of them are. So if you guys got like some that y'all like, Roblox, Fortnite, whatever, I'll download and play a bunch of them on one stream. Evil woman, evil woman. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way. I don't really. I mean, it's cool. There's some cool games on it, but I don't really play Roblox. Hey, thanks for the follow, Shortline. I appreciate you. What's up with these games not being in full screen? Day 1, unexpected guest. The car's engine purred softly as it glided along the snow-covered road, creating a rhythmic hum that harmonized with the tranquility of the winter landscape. The world outside seemed hushed and still, as if nature itself had been silenced by a blanket of pristine snow. Through the windshield, the scene unfolded like a postcard come to life. The snow-laden trees stood tall, their branches delicately adorned with glistening crystals. Each limb reached towards the sky as if it was yearning to touch the falling snowflakes. The weight of the snow bent some of the branches, creating graceful arches that framed the road ahead. As the car made its way through the winter wonderland, the snowscape seemed to stretch out infinitely in every direction. The vastness of the scenery was both awe-inspiring and humbling. You continue to look around and wonder from the warmth and comfort of your vehicle. For you, this is a whole new experience coming from a busy city life, the little cub cabin retreat. It was advertised as the cozy escape in the heart of the snowy mountain wilderness. Unplug and experience tranquility in the unforgivable views of the snow-capped peaks and towering pine trees right outside your window. It sounded like exactly what you needed at the time, and you immediately booked a cabin for one, just for a week. You looked down at the directions. You downloaded again. Turn onto Little Cub Trail and the first cabin on the left. You slow the car as you approach a sign. Some of the letters of Little Cub peek from under the snow. You turn into the trail and your car bumps along the unpaved snowy dirt path. You look around attentively for the first cabin you see through the increasing snowfall. The wind starts whipping the snow around with fervor. I've never heard that word. And the road ahead of you quickly disappears. You feel pang in your chest at the sight of. You feel pang in your chest as the sight and your breath quickens. Your eyes begin darting between the trees looking for this cabin. So much for the forecast of light snow today. Hopefully you get there soon in case the snow gets worse. Yeah, we're about to be snowed into a cabin, finally. You had been looking forward to this getaway for a couple of weeks, and here it is. You can take some time to fully take in the exterior from the safety of your car. Now this idea of private snowy cabin makes you... I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be nervous, cause you ain't about to be on no vacation. You're about to be surviving. You're nervous about it now. You've never been somewhere like this before, and you're not sure what will happen up here in the mountains. Judging from the unexpected shift in the weather already, the drive here was already a bit more stressful than anticipated. Being alone in the mountain far from anyone and anywhere familiar is making you more nervous by the second. Maybe you'd calm down once you get your destination and get a chance to settle in. You squint though the falling snow, trying to make through this fallen snow, trying to make out the numbers on the cabin. The snow is really starting to come down quickly, and you feel an urgency to get indoors. Good Lord, would I download a book? Snow had covered up the sign, but this one looked like a picture in the book, so you pulled up to the snow-covered path. You feel a wave of relief to finally have arrived. The drive up the mountains was like Rainbow Road. Mario reference? Okay, W. And then the snow, while beautiful, made for an even more challenging drive. Your little cabin is surrounded by trees and there are no neighbors in sight. A large stretch of wilderness ensures you plenty of privacy. What do I need privacy? What, am I about to be in here butt naked or something? What's going on? You hurriedly lug your stuff out of your car into the cabin. It's not much, just a suitcase for the week. Looking at the snow, maybe you should have packed an even thicker winter. Exactly, you're gonna be in here surviving. The icy, chilly environment chills the delicate skin on your face. You bound up to the cabin, eager to get out of the cold. It's already unlocked. Is this normal for remote cabins? Nah. Crazy to throw in Mario, right? Just random Mario reference. As you step aside, the warmth of being out in the elements immediately greets you, but it could certainly be warmer. Okay, hey, bro, just snapped a fire into existence. You set down your things at the door and quickly set about lighting a fire in the fireplace. Conveniently, there's some wood and a lighter by the hearth. You take in the cabin's interior, and it's as cozy as described, if not a bit more messy than expected. Did they not clean up the place? There's stuff still laid out on the table. You got a squatter in here, bro. Looks like the place hasn't been swept in a while. It has a lived-in feel and is ready for someone to move in. The warm glow from the hearth dancing across the rustic wooden walls and furniture was cozy and inviting. We got a book here, chat. Some books are resting on the worn wooden table and shelves. You hurry over to inspect the tiny kitchenette, and you are pleasantly surprised that it's fully stocked. Wow, it looks like mysterious meat and a lot of junk food. So I'm thinking maybe you're in the wrong cabin, or somebody's been staying in your cabin. I'm gonna just be honest. Maybe look around, don't just start eating their stuff. Still, that's pretty generous of the people running this place. You had expected to get food. You had expected to get food later in town when the snow let up. So you was just gonna come get snowed in with no food? Bro is a goober. It's a bit of a drive, but there's a small town with a grocery store around here. You can look more closely around the rest of the cabin later. Right now you wanted to warm up. Bro, look around the cabin now. You just said 6 times that it seems like somebody might be here, and you ain't gonna check it out. You ain't gonna, hey, anybody here? Am I in the wrong cabin? Sorry, there's snow. Like nothing. You look in the kitchen's drawers and find a couple options to choose from. All of them are of the instant drink variety, but beggars can't be choosers. What is an instant drink? What do you want to drink? Let's go hot cocoa. You grab a packet for instant hot cocoa, then you find a pot and start to heat some water on the gas stove. It's been a while since you used one of these. You check your phone and there's no signal. Great. Always good. You do spot a landline on the countertop if you need to call anyone. Been a while since... How about we call the police and, ask them how bad the weather's gonna get, because we may need to get up out of here. Been a while since you've seen one. Listen to that wind, bro. We're about to be cooked. Been a while since you've seen one of those. 2, another reminder of how far from civilization you are. The pot of water shimmers on the stove. You pour some into the cup for your hot cocoa. The smell of hot cocoa fills the room, and the warmth from the cup warms your frozen hands. The window rattles suddenly, and you jump up from your thoughts. The snowing from earlier has really picked up into a storm, the heavy fall of snow blurring the landscape. Yep. The wind howls and rattles the windows again. The sharp, erratic burst made you flinch every time. Also, hold on. Bro said he knew he was going to a lodge in the mountains with snow expected, and he packed light clothing. What was you going to go tanning or something? Like, You need to pack heavy anyway, because if you want to go outside at all, you need to have jackets, coats, thermal, you know what I'm saying? Long johns, everything. What? Bro's gonna be outside in a tank top. He's one of those people that wears shorts when it's freezing outside and is like, oh, I'm not even cold. The wind howls and rattles. Okay, yeah, we already read that. Snow now slams against the cabin in chaotic flurries. You wonder if the windows would hold against the storm. Yeah, that would suck. That's a bit concerning, but it's perfect contrast to the safety of the cabin. No, it's not. That's not perfect at all. The cabin was a small sanctuary that was holding back the icy wilderness beyond its walls. How about we, like, put some blankets over the windows or something? The lack of forethought is wild. I'm in shorts in the winter. I have very hairy legs, so I can, if I'm making, like, brief trips, I can wear shorts. But, like, if you plan on going outside, you're not going to wear shorts. Snowed in or not, you were planning on bunkering down here initially anyway. Just as you started settling in, there was a knock at the door. Okay. You snap your head towards the sound, and you feel your heart racing with fear. Why? What if somebody just needs help, bro? Relax. You weren't expecting anyone, and the thought of a stranger out here in the middle of nowhere during a snowstorm sent a shiver down your spine. Why? They probably need help. They're not just gonna kill you. Relax. But maybe it was a cabin host or somebody that needed help. Exactly. You set down your drink on the table and gently... Look, here's what you do. You don't set your drink down. You take the cup of hot fluid, and when you open the door, if they try to attack you, you splash it in their face, and then you start throwing them hands at them. You know what I mean? Catch me shoveling the drive, and hey, that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Bro's gonna lose his legs. You set down your drink on the table gently and look towards the door. What will you do now? Check. Who is it? You try to calm your nerves and wait for an answer. The answer didn't come. Open the door. Take a deep breath, making sure you're on your... You take a deep breath and make your way to the door, stilling yourself. When you open the door, you're greeted by a tall figure wearing a mask. That looks like a female. Their expression hidden. They look kind of sad. I don't think that's hidden. Your breath catches... Why is this bro panicking? A biting cold rushes in from the cracked door. The unknown visitor is bundled in thick clothes and covered in snow. Okay. Hi, can I help you? The figure says nothing, the silence somehow chilling the air further. You reflexively take a step back and grip the door's handle, ready to slam the door shut and lock it. The stranger seems to notice this and slams his hand, that looks like a girl, I'm not gonna lie, but who am I to judge, on the door, preventing you from closing it. And at the sudden movement, nothing. Your fear takes over, you feel your body tense up like a statue. Your eyes widen and you look at the stranger and every breath stops in your chest. To your horror, the stranger reaches over to grip your arm, which is still holding onto the door. You are still too shocked to do anything. His hands are strong but not painful, and they anchor you firmly in place in front of him. His face is unreadable, neither angry or amused, just unreadable. The storm outside howls louder. Good Lord, I feel like the music is getting louder by each second. As if taunting you in this situation. Bro, I think you're reading too much into this. I'm gonna be like, do you need to come in? Like, you good? What do you do now? Please let me go. Stranger's grip on your arm tightens. I'm afraid I can't do that. A chill runs through... Okay, now we're throwing hands, okay? Menacing voice, slight southern drawl to it. Now, I'm afraid I can't do that. His words hang heavy in the air, mingling with your labored breaths and the roar of the winds. Just as you're starting to feel lightheaded, the stranger adds matter-of-factly, especially not in this weather. There's a snowstorm. You won't survive out here alone. You won't even make it 5 minutes in the storm by the looks of you. He suddenly lets you go. The action is so sudden that you stumble back into the cabin's interior and the stranger takes a step in. That looks like a chick, bro. Stranger's mask remains unreadable as they shut the door behind. Okay, now it kind of looks like a dude. The stranger pulls down his mask to reveal his face. Oh no, we got a metalhead. We're cooked. He listens to Opferfletch. He begins dusting off the snow from his clothes and goes to hang up his overcoat by the door naturally. I'm Jim. This is my place. You stare speechlessly at this casual statement as if he's not aware of the scare he just gave you. What's your name? My name is Red. There's an awkward beat before he gestures for you to take a seat by the fireplace. Sure, why not? Not the southern metalhead? Exit light, winter night. You stiffly follow his suggestion and sit down. You're not gonna try to do, like, Diddy type things, are you, bro? Because we could throw hands right now. He takes off his hat and dusts off the snow before following you and taking a seat as well. You're both sitting in the hearth, and now, after your misunderstanding, you feel a mixture of adrenaline. No. It wasn't my misunderstanding, it was the narrator's misunderstanding. I'm real sorry about before. Why did you knock on the door and didn't say anything? Jim looks away guiltily and hurriedly explains himself. I saw your car and I was trying not to scare you, just trying to let you know I'm here. What? And then when I saw you, I got nervous. This guy did all of that because he got nervous? You're taken aback by the contrast of the man in front of you and your first impression. It wasn't my first impression of him. That was I'm sorry, that just wasn't. I don't accept that. Besides that, you're still confused about how all of this happened. Jim thinks for a moment and speaks more quietly because of his self-consciousness about how his voice sounds. Bro's a weeb, alright? His voice still comes out in a low rumble. Were you trying to go to that tiny bear house? You mean the little cub cabin? Right. You went way too far down the trail then. Probably missed it with all the snow and pines. Easy to happen when the snow gets like this. Your face burned with embarrassment as your mistake and the whole misunderstanding. So much for a relaxing getaway. That makes sense. An awkward silence stretches between you two. Jim speaks up again. I think the storm will pass in a couple of days. You can stay here until then. A couple of days? You sit there and process what happened. I guess I don't have a choice. Jim nods sympathetically. It's for the best. You can trust me on that. You slump your chair a bit in defeat. I mean, I think I could probably hop in my car and go down the street like 2 inches, maybe. Jim moves to stand up and starts gesturing around the room. So the bathroom in the corner there. Oh, and feel free to put your things in the spare room over there to your right. My room's the one to the left by the front door. It's not much, but you're safe here. Jim points to the pot next to the stove. I'll have some hot cocoa too after all of that. Want your hot cocoa reheated since you helped yourself to some already? You grown at any reminders of your unfortunate beginnings here? Sure, thanks. Bro's about to pull the Dahmer on me. You wanna take some photos? Why are you feeling so weird? You wanna take some photos? Jim gives you a curt nod and grabs your cup. Things are still pretty awkward, but it's kind of sweet that he's trying to be a good host. How about you check your room while I reheat the drinks? See now? I'm telling you, bro's trying to do something weird. I'm not letting nobody touch my drink, especially not out here. Just us two, bro, could do anything. Bro is, man. The room is small and cozy, simple with its furnishings, but it's all you need. It's minimally decorated with like the rest of the cabin, but it has a bed and a nightstand with a lamp. And now it has your suitcase and belongings in a corner. You sit down on the bed with a creak. The bed feels impossibly soft beneath you, urging your tense muscles from earlier to uncoil. Yeah, bro's about to come uncoil you for sure. This is about to get bad, bro. There's a twist. This is not some humble story. You let out a long breath and your hand traces absent-mindedly over the quilted blanket. Its fabric is worn but comforting. What a situation. You hear the muffled clatter of Jim in the kitchen and snow battering against the walls. You're about to be battering against the walls, if you know what I mean. This was not what you had expected at all. Your hot cocoa's ready. Jim's voice from the other room pulls you from your thoughts to get up and join him. Now look at this face. All of a sudden he ain't so shy. Now he's just grinning. Nah, bro, I ain't drinking this. You sit across from Jim as he hands you the reheated hot coffee. He cradles his own mug, savoring its warmth before taking little sips. Yeah. His posture is more relaxed, but comes off a bit shy. Yeah, I wonder why. You get a better look at him now that things are less intense. His pale hair is damp and disheveled from the snowstorm, and he keeps it pretty long. His eyes flick to you occasionally before glancing back down at his drink. Sorry, I'm not used to having company, I guess. What do you do? Let's continue in silence. You don't mind the silence, it seems like he doesn't either. Soon the silence stretches long enough to become comfortable, one rather than an awkward lull. Fire crackles and the warm glow fills you with a pleasant calm. You both enjoy your drinks and warm up together by the fire. So now you call it a fire, not a hearth? You called it a hearth like 80 times. Jim looks at you and finally asks you a question himself. How you feeling now that you had that warm drink? How you feeling about being stuck here? He quickly looks away again while anticipating your answer. He has a complicated look on his face. You wonder why that is. He's a hard man to read. I like it so far. I appreciate all that you've done for me, but I'd like to get where I'm supposed to be as soon as I can. I see. Of course. That makes sense. You're grateful for the shelter and how helpful Jim has been. You'll be happy to get along with Jim while you're here and separate when possible. You did come from a private cabin getaway after all. Jim looks back into the flickering embers of the fire and seems to be weighing your response in his head. Yeah, why would he care about any of that? You wonder what he's thinking, but can't bring yourself to interrupt his thoughts. You ultimately look into the fire too. The dancing flames lull you into a trance as your mind wanders. The time flows as the sun disappears from the sky and you are both left with the dying fire. At some point, you find yourself watching him. His features are softer in the firelight, warmer too than before. He looks much more friendly now that he's taken off his outerwear and is relaxing and, well, pause. He doesn't seem to talk much, but his voice carries a quiet intensity, like every word matters. He glances at you and catches you staring. You quickly look down at your empty mug, feeling the heat rise. What is this, some sort of smut, bro? I ain't trying to read this. He doesn't say anything at first, but now you feel him observing you back. What? You're handsome. Like, nah, bro. Sorry, I didn't mean to stare. You were absent-mindedly bro, this is crazy. You were absently-mindedly staring for a little too long before you even realized it. It's alright, no harm, no foul. You can stare, I don't mind. Bro started blushing. Oh my god. What is happening? You were just, kind of obvious about it. He's surprisingly easygoing despite his first impressions. His words ease the embarrassment just a little. I get lost in my thoughts sometimes. Well, who doesn't every now and then? Starts grinning. Then Jim looks at his empty mug, now cold, even though it's steaming. Well, I think I'll call it a night. Jim gets up and holds out a hand to take my empty mug, trying to be gracious. We ain't eating dinner or nothing? You gave him your cup, and his lips curve into a small smile. He walks into the kitchen and places both of your mugs in the tiny sink there with a clink. Jim goes over to the hearth, puts out the rest of the fire before heading to his room. You get up to walk over to your room, you peer out to Jim, closing the door to your room. Jim lingers by his door and glances back at you. Okay, well, good night, Red. Good night, Jim. Why would it offer me can I stay in his room? This is crazy. Your door creaks as you close it all the way, and you turn towards what will be your room for the next couple of days. You're stuck there with this stranger. You change into his sleeping clothes and jump under the covers for warmth. The storm is still raging outside as much as it was earlier. You start to relax soon, and the storm outside starts to sound like white noise. The events of the day are taking their toll on you. Before you arrived, you were feeling nervous. Now, after everything that happened, you feel... not attraction. I'm still uneasy, I ain't gonna lie to you. La 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 la. As you think about it, you drift off into sleep. Okay, there we go.
The darkness takes you, and the dream of being deep in the mountains. The air is vicious, thick with the scent of blood. From the abyss, a pair of gold moon-like eyes glow from a towering figure.
Oh God, my voice.
The shadow moves too fluid, too silent. Just begin your grasp.
Beyond your grasp.
Three scream. The ground heaves, and then a sound. Low, guttural, laughing. Its voice is not sound, but vibration, the hum of a wasp's nest, the groan of a noose tightening. You are such a delicate thing, a rabbit on my altar. You are the perfect sacrifice.
The voice scares you. You don't understand what it is. You try to get away from this haunting visage, but the damp, cold earth under your feet clings to you. Branches claw at your arms, leaving thin red trails in their wake. The less you understand, the rougher things get. The trees loom and the shadows laugh. The forest, it screams to you.
The one who dreams the wolves.
What does that mean? And then the darkness reaches you. The voice calls to you once more.
I'll let the whelp you have. I'll let the whelp have you. Just for a little while.
Bro done said some gibberish to me. Now I'm more scared. The one who what?
You are marked now. The storm listens. The trees remember.
You wake with a gasp. The remnants of the dream ring clinging to you like frost. The moonlit eyes burn into yours from the shadows of the pines. Dude, double dosed your cocoa? Oh, for sure, bro. I'm over here seeing demons. Something that knew your name with a voice like crackling ice. Unconsciously, your fingers buried in the quilt. Pause. Your pulse hammering. Pause. Morning light seeps through the frosted windows. You wake up to the sound of the gas stove clicking on the flash of flames. Jim is awake, moving through the cabin with the creak of the floorboards under his careful steps. Careful steps? Why are his steps careful? The bedroom door squeaks as you step out. Jim keeps his back to you, fingers fumbling with the coffee tin like it's the most fascinating thing in the world. I'm trying to remember his voice. Oh, you're finally awake. You sat down at the table. Jim sets a chipped mug on the table and joins you. Steam curls from it, Ghostly in that cold air, he doesn't speak. The silence stretches, taut as a tripwire. Red, it's for you. Jim pushes the mug towards you, an offering. His eyes dart around the room, a nervous habit you're beginning to recognize. Man, I don't want to be rude, but good lord, I'll wait. He clears his throat as you look at him patiently. It's hot cocoa. That's what you like, right? You had made this yesterday. You nod. Okay, so bro's already trying to be generous. Why are you trying to be on my... I can make my own cocoa, bro. He exhales just slightly and nudges the mug closer. Why is he insistent that I drink this? Nah, man. But we had one night together. Pause. I still don't trust you, bro. I'm sorry. You push the mug back. It scrapes across the table. Jim, I'm just not thirsty right now. Jim goes very still. Jim's expression flickers, something between hurt and frustration. You don't want it? Nah, I'm just not thirsty. I just woke up, bro. I just woke up. It's not a question, it's a challenge. We'll take it. We'll take it, man. You reluctantly reach out for the mug and Jim watches the movement carefully. He's gonna be watching me now. I have to drink it. You take a sip from the mug and it's good. Really good. You drink a big gulp before you even realize it. Jim's shoulders unclench just a fraction. Bro's sitting there tense like... And then you take a sip, he's like... I'm glad you like it. I don't know if it's my voice that's making this so much worse, or like, bro, I don't know. Jim's posture softens. He watches you with something like gratitude, his fingers tapping an absent rhythm against the table. The steam from your mug curls between you like a disorienting fog. Jim watches, not the drink, not your hands, but the space where your lips will meet the rim. Oh, nah, man. Bro, man. The silence stretches charged with something unspoken. He can't be that bad letting you stay there. Hey. I know he's gonna want payment of some type, that's all I'm saying. The warmth of your drink spreads through your chest, familiar and comforting. It's good. How's the temperature? It's perfect. Oh, come on, skunk. With pride barely hidden, a flicker of satisfaction crosses his face. He leans back in his chair, fingers drumming once again, so he's nervous. I remember how you take it. What are we talking about? Bruh, hold up. Hold up. What are you talking about, Jim? We're about to have to throw hands, bro. We're about to have to scrap, man. Before you know it, you've drank it all. Jim holds out his hand to take your mug. You oblige. Oh, man. Then he busies himself off taking your mugs to the sink, but you catch the way his thumb rubs over the spot your lips just touched. Oh, bro's a freak. You must be hungry. I'll make you some food then go with your drink. Alright, I guess. Crouches down, pulls out a cooler from under the sink. You think you hear the clack of a lock, but you can't see past Jim's form. He places some ingredients on the counter: flour, potatoes, onions, eggs, and toast. It's not too fancy, but it'll do. Jim moves with quiet efficiency at the stove as he layers ingredients into a cast iron pan. You want some help, bro? You step beside him, reaching for the knife. Yeah, there we go. Grab the knife. For chopped vegetables, his hand catches yours, not to stop you, just to guide you. Jim, with all due respect, buddy, I've used a knife several times in my life. I do not need assistance. Knife's sharper than it looks. Here. He adjusts your fingers, his palms warm against you. I'm not being seduced. This isn't happening. Smaller cuts, they'll cook even. Bro is blushing. Yo, this dude is a freak. You work in comfortable silence, shoulders brushing occasionally. When the meal is ready, he plates it carefully, nudging the best portions towards your side. Just a heads up, his shirt's late. Ah, that's crazy. His shirt translates to sacrificial meat. His boot knocks lightly against yours under the table. A tiny grounding touch. Nah, bro, we ain't playing footsies. We ain't playing footsies, Jim. I'm telling you, I'ma throw hands with you, bro. We make a good team. Food is simple, but perfect. Fluffy eggs, crispy potatoes, pancakes, toast slathered in... What? How did we get that out of what he pulled out? What are we talking about? Jim left the jar of preserves on the table for you, wafting a sweet scent towards you in case you wanted more. Your stomach grumbles loudly at the sight of the smell. Yeah. Yeah, they did say at the beginning it was weird looking meat. Some kind of jam. It's the Jimmy Jam. What's the difference between jelly and jam, chat? Good, you have an appetite. Go on and dig in. He doesn't eat until you do. His gaze never leaves your face. Bro is eating, like, imagine you're sitting there eating with someone and they're just like... Like, bro, why are you watching me? That's cringy. Jim watches you take the first bite, his finger drumming. The pancakes are just sweet enough. Okay, hey, he's a good cook. I mean, he's a good cook. The preserves taste like blackberries and something darker. Iron? Oh my god, they got blood in them? The food is delicious but leaves you oddly drowsy. He smiles, watching you eat and noting how you feel from the look on your face. Good food to make you sleepy, huh? His voice is light, but his fingers quickly tap the table twice like he's counting. Halfway through, he pushes his mug towards you. Try this. Before you realize that you... What? I didn't even get a choice! Before you realize it, you take a sip of his spiced tea, and it's just sweet enough. You hand it back, his thumb brushes the place where your lips touch. Bruh. Okay, I'm gonna say something really insensitive. People be in situations like this and don't leave, and then they're like, I couldn't believe he SA'd me. Like, nah. Nah. Both of you finish up quickly. Jim takes your plates to the sink. And he's washing up. Jim hums. The tune is unfamiliar, oddly rhythmic. You've never heard it before. Rhythmatic. Almost like a lullaby or a chant. When Jim notices your attention, he stops abruptly and turns away. It's just a song from my childhood. Jim pauses at the sink, looking at the window. The storm still rages, but he has a serene look on his face. How long is this game, bro? Could get used to this. The fireplace crackles as Jim moves to kneel by the hearth, arranging logs for unnecessary... I didn't read the last words. He's in a cult? No way. Hey, you know, maybe. We could just... Maybe we're just misreading the situation, man. Maybe he's just super lonely. His sleeves are rolled up slightly as he works, pale scars beneath the fabric. Oh, no. When he notices you watching, he smiles, but his fingers twitch like he's counting something under his breath. Not much to do indoors, I'm afraid. Never really had guests before. Just me and the quiet. The firelight catches the edge of the wolf carvings on the mantle. I've got books and a puzzle if you'd like. Could make do. Puzzle sounds nice. Jim produces a dusty puzzle box from the cabinet and directs you to the table. No, I don't want you to help. Oh my god. Alright, give me the books. Can I go read the book in the bedroom? The pieces are worn. The image on the box faded. A snow-laden forest. The trees too familiar. The shadows between them too deep. Found this in the cellar. Might be missing a few pieces. He spreads the pieces across the table and then settles beside you, close but not quite touching. Why? There's a whole table, Jim! The puzzle is old with some edges frayed, others darkened with age or something else. At first it's easy, border pieces first, then cabin emerges, crooked chimney, claw marks on the door, a fire crackles, the puzzle takes shape, a cabin, a wolf, a figure standing in the tree line? Jim's fingers move across with surprising precision, slotting pieces into place before you even find their match. He doesn't look at the box, he doesn't need to. Funny how these things fit together when you know where they belong. Oh man, what is going on, bro? At one point, his knee brushes yours, he doesn't pull away, it's warm, deliberate. The puzzle grows. A wolf at the tree line. Golden eyes gleaming even in the dim light. Then the figures, a silhouette standing just beyond the cabin's reach. Their hand is outstretched, holding nothing. There's a piece missing. You look at the table, but there's nothing left. The figure's hand is empty, a void. That's too bad. The figure in the puzzle is holding something, a flower, a knife, but that piece is gone. You ask if he knows what it is while squinting at the missing figure's hand. How about we look at the box that you just mentioned so that way you could see what it would be? And, man, you have a wolf picture in your room too? Yep, sure do. Not sure, don't remember. His thumb brushes the empty space where the piece should be before leaning over to grab your hand. Why are you grabbing my hand? His gaze lowers to find yours full of unspoken meaning. Guess some things stay lost. You've done this before? Bruh, nah, pull my hand away. Jim's grip tightens for the heartbeat, then releases. Bro is on some weirdo stuff. Guess some pieces don't want to be found. Bro's trying to gaslight me. Oh my goodness. This is awkward. For a moment his palm hovers like he might reach back, but then he exhales, flexing his hand as if shaking off a thought. Jim studies the puzzle, lips pressed thin before pushing back from the table to get the puzzle's box. Maybe that missing piece will turn up later. His gaze lingers on the empty space where the last piece should be. He's literally saying I should be the missing piece, unless I'm reading that wrong. Then he carefully gathers the complete puzzle and puts it back in its box. He stands stretching with forced casualness. Let's see, anything else? I'm gonna go back to my room, bro. You mentioned heading to your room and Jim stands still thinking. His fingers tap once sharply against his arm, then smiles, but it doesn't reach his eyes. Tired already? He doesn't move to stop you, but as you turn, you catch his reflection in a dark window. Guess the cold gets to the folks faster than I remember. Used to it myself. His expression is raw, jaw clenched, a man watching something precious slip through his fingers. I'll come get you when it's dinner time. No thanks, actually. You know, that was a lot of calories for breakfast. I think I'm good. You'd been back in your room for a while now, the door clicking behind you. The sound is soft, final. You sit on the edge of your bed, the weight of the day pressing onto your shoulders like hands. You stare. It's not the weight of the day. This dude is trying to diddle me. I'm just trying to, like, bro, I'm a board up in this room, bro. You stare out to the frost veined glass. Frost veined is actually a pretty cool description. The storm still rages, snow piling in the drifts against the pane. Your breath fogs The cold surface, your breath evens out, fogging the glass in rhythmic pulses. Without realizing, you trace the same looping pattern Jim used to We're being brainwashed. You were feeling more accepting of your situation. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. Or maybe resigned is a better word. The snow no longer looks threatening, just inevitable. Like the turn of the seasons. Try to nap. Let's just go to sleep, man. Something unsettled you as you tried to sleep. If at all, it was hard to tell with time that the snowstorm was roaring. The shadows stretch across your room. You begin wondering if it's even time yet. Jim hasn't come to get you, but the hunger in your stomach pulls you out of bed. When you get up, you notice the door is slightly ajar. You could have sworn that you had closed it. Oh, bruh. I need a backstory is red. Backstory is red is bad. I'd be the same. Hey. You know what I'm saying? You're out there alone. You gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, he hasn't done anything too weird besides the touching me uninvited and the, like, rubbing his thumb on where my lips were. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy work. Other than that, he's been very kind. The storm has trapped you both inside for another day. The wind howls through the cracks in the cabin walls, but Jim seems almost content. Look how sad he looks. He sits at the table, a small knife in his hand, whittling away a block of oak. His movements are careful and precise, like a man performing a sacred rite. He doesn't look at you, but you catch the way his fingers linger over the wood. Pause! Shaping it with something like reverence. Watch quietly, gently alert him to. Watch quietly. You stay planted where you are, hoping not to disturb him. The sound of scraping continues. Eventually, Jim becomes aware of your gaze as he finishes his work. Oh, he made a bun. A small, fragile thing, ears folded back. When the carving is finished, Jim hesitates. His thumb brushes over the creature's back, pressing over its form. He sets it on the table facing away from you to look at the finished carving, a silent offering unacknowledged. It is not for you. Not yet. Maybe never. Take it, I guess? Thanks. Jim looks surprised but doesn't stop you. Oh my god, I don't want to be mean. He just gave me a gift. Thank you, Jim. You trace the carving with your fingertips and you wear it around your throat. You trace the carving with your fingertips and you want it around your throat. What? What are we talking about? I thought he just gave me a little bunny, not a... what? Jim seems to read your desire and tentatively takes the carving in his hand. He carves a small hole through it and threads into a leather cord. He hands it back to you with a wary look. You awkwardly put the necklace onto yourself as Jim watches. The first thing you notice is that the cord around your neck is tight. A collar disguised as jewelry. Am I the wolf? Is he turning me to a wolf? The thin layer knotted snug around your throat is not enough to choke, but enough that you will always feel it there. The wood is smooth, almost too delicate, like it might splinter if you grip it too hard. Jim looks at the carving around your neck with a complicated expression. He seems to consider you for an extra beat before going to his room for the night. And he didn't say nothing? Bro's mad. Bro's big mad. Bro is mad. With nothing else to do, you head back to your room. Alright, bet. The bed creaks as you settle in. The blanket's too stiff, the air too still. So he's trying that, like, guilt riz. Like, you know, you were mean to me. Here's a gift. I'm going to bed. You try to sleep, but it comes in shallow waves. Each time you start to drift, the shadows at the edge of the room seem to shift slightly. A thud. A muffled curse. The creak of the floorboards bearing weight. The cabin is too quiet for the sound to be anything but deliberate. You set up. A sliver of light bleeds through your door. Someone's still awake. Yeah, there wasn't dinner. Good point. Where? Whoa, Jim, where was dinner, bud? I'm a little hungry, man. You are drawn to the noise and venture out of your room. Night falls heavy over the cabin, the fire reduced to embers. The wind has quieted, but the silence is worse, thick with unsaid words. Jim stands by the window, his back to you, fingers absently tracing the edge of the wood carving knife. You can see the tension in his shoulders, the way his breath fogs the glass in uneven burst. He knows you're watching. He always knows. Jim? Bro did not just hit the... A shudder runs through him when you call out to him. For a long moment, he doesn't move. Then he slowly sets his carving knife away and turns to face you. Jim turns to face you. The moonlight points his face, a blue shadow, alright, unreadable eyes. There's something raw in his expression, something hungry and hesitant all at once. Couldn't sleep, but you should be asleep. His voice is rough, raw. I heard you were awake. Then I'm sorry for bothering you. The air between you is charged, electric. No, it's not. He swallows hard. His glaze flickers to your lips, then away, like he's afraid what he might do if he looks to. He better not do nothing. They are trying hard to make me hook up with this dude. What if that's the only way you can end this game and it just goes on forever? Jim turns away and his jaw clenches. He slowly exhales and you aren't sure if it's disappointment or relief. To your confusion, Jim puts on his jacket and hat by the door, then wordlessly goes out of the cabin. The door clicks behind... Hey. Wait. Hold up, I was about to say W self-control. He walked away. But, why is he locking me in? Look out the window. Through the window, you see Jim's retreating figure, his shoulders hunched against the wind and snow. It looks like he's holding something. He doesn't look back. I'm going back to bed. You hear a distinct axe hitting wood outside over and over again. He had to go, you know what I'm saying? He had to go hack his wood. Jim seems to have no intention of returning tonight. Bro's gonna be outside all night whacking his wood. With nothing else to do, you head back to your room. You lay back down, your bed filled with thoughts of Jim, but your eyes grow heavy with sleep. The storm murmurs against the windows, a lullaby. Dude, I didn't realize this was about to be like an hour and a half long. Good lord. Creaking wood, you drift into sleep. You stand in a cathedral of snow-laden trees, their branches clawing at the sky as deep as oblivion. The air smells... Just do it, you're in love. I am not doing nothing, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. The air smells of frost and something older. Moss, blood, burnt sugar. The carving around your neck tightens and it drives you forward. Before you is bare earth. The ground twitches where your shadow falls. You feel something between your teeth. When you go to pick it, it's a white flower moist from your insides. Silver veins throb mockingly at you. You don't recall their name, yet your tongue forms in the shape of it anyway. Moon petals? Is that what they're called? How do you know? There are wolf tracks, deep, deliberate. They lead you forward without a choice. The trees seemingly curving into you, pulling you in. Something moves in the dark. Not a wolf, not a man. The shape with too many joints, its shadow stretching further than light should allow. And those eyes, they glow impossibly bright, drinking up the shadows. A human hums. Jim's voice? No, deeper. It curls through the trees in fragments.
What do you have, rabbit?
Your palm grows heavy. You clench your fist to reveal a bone-handled knife, its edge serrated with thorns. Its mouth doesn't move. The words form inside your skull.
Pathetic. Do you even know what to do with that?
The wind lashes, your face full of teeth. Stay a little longer. I've been starved for you for so long. What? That after all of that, we got a cliffhanger? I want to see something. Hey, it just ends, bro. It just ends. I'm wondering what happens if you go back and you just like flirt with him and stuff. Bro just smashes you. I don't know, dude. That was crazy. That was good. That was good storytelling. I'm not gonna lie. It was good storytelling. But bro, on to the next, I guess.